Star Wars 7 by 7 episode 2667. Today I'm doing something that I've never done before on the podcast. Well, I've done book reviews before, but this particular kind of book we have never talked about, and so I'm kind of excited to do it. It's a cookbook called Once Upon a Kitchen, which features Star Wars related recipes. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7 by 7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So the folks at Soho Publishing reached out to me, and they have this Get Creative 6 imprint, and they said they were representing Leslie Bilderback, who is a certified master baker, chef, and culinary instructor. She's the author of 18 books and has been featured in the New York Times, San Francisco Chronicle, Culinary Trends magazine, and was the winner of season 3 of the show Sweet Genius. And so her latest book is Once Upon a Kitchen, which is a magical themed cookbook inspired by fairy tales, legends, myths, etc. Leslie has included several Star Wars recipes that the folks at Soho say they think we're certain to love and be inspired by, and so I thought, well, let's try it out. So there are 8 recipes, actually 9 technically. There are 9 recipes that are specifically Star Wars related in the book, and so I went ahead and made the blue milk pudding recipe, and by gosh, I'm not necessarily a cook or chef, or and I do a little bit of baking maybe sometimes, but I'll tell you, this came out pretty darn good. And I'll give you the full list of recipes. There's a Kyber crystal cocktail, Dagobah root leaf stew, Jedi ration bars, moss iced tea, Cantina cocktail snack mix, Alderaan Gorak roasted in mala petals, Canto Bite clams casino, and the blue milk pudding. And there's also a menu planner section in here as well. For Star Wars, it's the That's No Moon dinner, which is pretty clever. And there's a bonus recipe in there, which is the punniest one of all, quinoa, gin, and Cuke Skywalker salad. And Star Wars is just one small part of this. The subtitle for this is 101 Magical Recipes Inspired by Star Wars, Harry Potter, Merlin, Tolkien, fairy tales, and more. And there's Disney stuff in here, Arthurian legends, Arabian Nights. I mean, this book covers the gamut of magical and fantastic kinds of inspiration for various dishes. And like I mentioned before, I made the blue milk pudding for myself and really liked it, and I'm not actually usually a pudding guy either. So yeah, that was definitely a wonderful and pleasant surprise. And I have to say, it's all well and good to, have interesting recipes and, for one you try out to turn out well, but the real pleasure of the book is the fact that there are essays with every single recipe in here. I mean, leading into the Kyber crystal cocktail recipe, Leslie has a whole essay about the Jedi Order and about training and about Kyber crystal selection that leads into it. For the Dagobah root leaf stew recipe, there's talk about Jedi lore and eventually leading to Yoda leading the Jedi Order, and then a bit of history about the fall and him going to Dagobah. I mean, this is really detailed, and Leslie is she's into it. It's so cool. I will say that as a comparative amateur in the kitchen, looking at some of the ingredients in the recipes, I was like, what? Rose water? Arrowroot? I'm talking about particularly the blue milk pudding recipe. And so just quick internet searches will let you find that, oh yeah, you can use a little bit of vanilla extract as a substitute for rose water and cornstarch as a substitute for arrowroot. So some of the more exotic ingredients in the recipes, if you don't happen to have them on hand, there may be ready substitutes at hand. But hey, if you want to have a little fun, why not go out and make yourself a shopping list if you have the opportunity to do so. So yes, I very much enjoyed Once Upon a Kitchen, and it's actually made me think of checking out other Star Wars cookbooks because they are out there, and there are ones that are official. This one is unofficial, so it has to give the whole disclaimer about not affiliated and blah blah blah. But there are other ones out there, both unofficial and official, and it's made me kind of think, yeah, maybe it's worth checking checking out some more of these. So thanks to Soho Publishing for sending me a copy to check out. I really appreciate it. And congratulations to Leslie Bilderback on her latest book, Once Upon a Kitchen. And that's what I've got for you on today's show. If you decide to check that out and make your own recipes from it, I'd love to hear about it. So drop me a comment wherever you happen to catch this episode, if it has a comment section there, or just go to Homebase at the show, sw7x7.com, and look for this episode number. And that's going to do it for today. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for this show, as always, and may the force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.